You do not need to be good at drawing to enjoy watercolor. If sketching is what's stopping you from painting, then this video is for you. These image transfer methods range from completely free to a couple $100s. You'll have plenty of options, so you'll spend less time worrying about drawing and more time painting. Let's dive in. All right, the first method is window tracing. I got to bring you guys a little bit closer. There we go, that's better. So this is basically your DIY light box. This is your free option. If you don't have washi tape or some sort of painter's tape, and you can hold the paper in place, and it's truly a free option. So I printed this image of my son and my husband at the Dry Tortugas, and I just printed it off of my regular computer, and I'm going to use my washi tape and tape the image to the window. This is best if it's a sunny day. And then tape my paper on top of that. Again, you can hold it. Just make sure you got nice, clean, dry hands. And then you are just going to start tracing what you see and what elements that you want to keep in your image. You don't have to do everything. You just want to get kind of the general idea. So I'm not going to sketch everything here. You guys are getting the idea. And the sun is behind the clouds right now, and I'm still able to do this. If it was a really sunny day, that'd be really great. You could even, if you had lights outside or somebody with a flashlight, maybe you can have them illuminate from outside to help brighten that image even more. The next method that's completely free is by rubbing a graphite pencil on the back of your printout and then tracing over top. So this works like homemade transfer paper, and it's good if you don't own any graphite paper. And it's a little messy, but it is still effective. So I like to hold my piece of paper kind of up to the light so I can see where I'm going to graphite on this, and kind of leave a little outline on the back, because I don't want to spend time covering the entire back of this page. I just want to do the areas that I'm going to be tracing. So my light and my camera setup is on this table, so things are going to get a little shaky. I will speed up this part. So as you can see, it's not perfect or neat by any means. And I'm going to flip my page over. I need my washi tape. So I'm going to tape down my paper just like so. I tape down my paper, and then I tape down my image I want to transfer. And then you can start, and I like doing the top because I can kind of flip back and forth and see that I'm getting everything. You can also kind of tell by where your pencil lines are on the page. And then you just start drawing. This method is great for if you're teaching a class and you don't have enough windows available or a window space available, or maybe it's not a sunny day. And especially if I'm teaching kids, they really enjoy scribbling on the back of the page. It's a lot of fun, but again, it can get kind of messy, so just be prepared for that. But it is an effective method. So I just outlined my son, and you can see it's transferred onto the page here. The next method is graphite transfer paper. So we are moving out of the free options, and this is going to be one of your cheaper options. This roll, this is a huge roll, it's 30 feet, is about $14. So this would be great for a classroom setting. And you just kind of rip off exactly how much you need. And then it does also come in sheets, and those are generally cheaper. I think maybe, I don't know, anywhere from like $3 to $5 online. So the shiny part, that's going to be the part that has all the graphite on it. That's what's going to be transferring your image. So if I'm going to trace this image of my husband, then I'm going to tape down my paper like so. Then we put down the graphite paper. Make sure to tape that down. I already got tape left over on this page. And then I'm going to tape the image down. So what is special about this graphite paper is that it is erasable. It says that right here. And I love that for doing watercolor because I can soften up the lines and I don't have those harsh lines. Other graphite paper might leave a darker line, or if you make a mistake, you won't be able to erase it. So something to keep in mind there. But this is another great option for when you are teaching classes, or, you know, if you're doing this on your own for your own project. I didn't line this up, so I'm hoping I'm not drawing my son or my husband on top of my son. They are kind of carbon copies of each other though. So I just sketched my husband. See, and you can see it's a little bit darker using the graphite paper. And then there's my son where we used the sketching the graphite on the back of the page. So couple different options for you there. Now our next option is a light box. I got this one on Amazon for around $20. They do range in pricing. Because of the price, I've been in art classes where they have like 1 or 2 light boxes and we all just have to take turns. So they are a very good tool. I'll turn this on here. So you put your image down first. And you can see a little bit of the markings I made on the back, but it's not going to affect anything here. I tape that down. We're going to tape our painting that we're going to do on top. And now we can go in and start sketching. So that is another option. So your next method is going to be the projector method. So you're going to project an image onto your canvas. This is amazing for larger paintings, great for murals, and it's an easy way to resize your artwork. So this one is going to be a little bit more expensive. It's going to be ranging, you could find cheaper ones. That's great for just doing a project, not for actually watching a movie on. Those are going to be around $50 all the way up to, you got nicer ones for $500 plus. The last method you can try, and it is the most expensive one because you're going to need a tablet and you need a printer. So we're talking $500 plus for this method. You use a program like Procreate to draw out your image, and then you can print it directly onto your watercolor paper. Now, the important thing to remember is only some printers can handle watercolor paper. And for me, it was a printer that was about $700 plus, and I've already gone through the life expectancy of that one. It does work better with lighter weight paper, and you want to make sure that you have waterproof ink inside your printer. Otherwise, the image is going to bleed when you paint on top of it. So again, this one is the most expensive option out of all of them. Make sure you test your paper first so that you're not jamming your printer, and also make sure you're testing your ink to make sure it is waterproof. I hope those tips helped, and now you've got no excuse to get out there and start painting. Until next time, unplug, get outside, and see what develops.